All right, so what I did, my tiller's tore up, so I can't till down between here, and we got all this grass coming up. So I just take a weed eater, run down through here, rake it up. These tomato plants is coming up pretty good. That's the way that weed eater will get on down under there pretty good, but next year I got to get my tiller going, and that way I can just till up through here, leave enough room to get through and all. I might do it this summer. All I got to do is order a carburetor from eBay or something, put it on there. Won't be that big of a deal. I'm gonna get on the ball on that and go ahead and get a new carburetor for it and fix it. I got the old tiller that Dad had. On it, the bearings is out down there where the tines go, and I could fix it. It's in better shape than the other one I bought from old black guy up at the flea market, and it cost only 60 bucks, but the carburetor's running real crappy. I had to run it on choke the whole time last year. I got a weed eat up by the house too. Can't never get everything done around here. I got so many things I'm trying to get done. Don't hate on me too hard about the weed eating by the house. I gotta get up by there, I know it. But the garden is pretty important. It's hard to get it all. It's like it ain't enough hours in the day to get everything done. You keep trying to get everything done. Between that and then you have to stop doing everything, go to doctor's appointments, take Mama to the doctor's appointment. I got them appointments at the dentist in Jackson, drive all the way to Jackson. It's always something. I ain't whining about it though, I'll get it done. Just takes what it takes. But anyhow, I use that weed eater and just run down by the side of everything. Boy, these cucumbers is running up. Nikki tied them like this, and they running up them things good. That was a good idea, the way she tied it with that trout line, fishing line. Well, not fishing line, y'all might say. We call it a trout line. You know, like you run a line, you put some limb lines out or whatever. And this old cheap crap, I got it up at Dollar General. Again, it's about like that paint I bought. It looks like it's made out of Walmart bags or something. Ain't worth a crap. On the spool, it looked like this regular stuff here. I guess it's got more cotton in it and a little bit of poly. But that stuff up at Dollar General is just pure plastic. I mean, it won't rot or nothing too bad. It'll be fine, but it was $3 and you can get a roll of this green stuff for about the same price, and it's a bigger roll. You're better off to go to Walmart and just get the trot line stuff. But anyhow, we're trying to trellis these cucumbers, get them up out of the way, but I'm scared they're gonna make too big of a wall and shade our peppers over here. There's some, but once the sun gets up, it's good on the peppers. This sun's pretty hot this summer, so we'll see. It'll probably be all right. Peppers can handle a good bit of sun though, I don't know. I sure ain't no expert gardener. I'm just learning as I go along. Learning from my mistakes mostly. I got to finish weed eating over here. Looks like crap. These squash will kind of shade that grass and keep it from growing so bad, but I need to weed eat one time before they get too big. But my battery, I got this electric weed eater and the battery went dead on it. So I had to stop for a minute. So once it gets charged, I'm gonna finish it up. It looks like it's gonna rain today, so I ain't gonna have to water. I put out some 00-2020 fertilizer. Since everything's starting to fruit now and flower, I went down the middle of the rows. We had the garden here last year, and man, it used a good bit of that phosphorus and potassium. So try to supplement that. What I put down so far this year is triple 13. A whole bag of that. Then I put down some 3300, just a handful in between the tomato plants. Not even quite a handful, like a big tablespoon. And then I put down Now here's the thing, I was seeing that leaf curling. I've done a lot of pruning to get rid of that leaf curling. All the crappy looking leaves, everything under that bottom string pretty much, I took them off, and suckers and all that. I'm ready to make some tomatoes, man. And so I read that they could use some calcium, so I'm trying a little experiment. I went up to Walmart and bought the cheapest Tums that they had, like Rolaids, Tums. There ain't nothing but calcium. Just stuck them in a Ziploc bag and crushed them up, mixed it up with a gallon of water, and poured it at the base of every one of these tomato plants. So maybe that'll replenish some of that calcium. The reason I didn't use bone meal is because the guy up at the co-op told me he put out bone meal, and he said he'd tell me the sins of his dog. He said his dog went out there and went crazy trying to dig up bones with that bone meal, tore his garden all to pieces. So we got these dogs, I was scared to do the bone meal thing. But bone meal's got calcium and potassium, magnesium. Magnesium is the other thing that I hadn't got out. I ain't figured out how to get without doing the bone meal. I need to figure out how to get some magnesium probably, because planting in the same place every year, you know, that stuff's sucking it up. You got to put it back somehow. And this is the best spot for us. Dad used to plant over here, and it's a good place, but the dirt's just a little more sandy over there. It's a little more over here. Seems to be a little more black, but it'll get more sandy the more we use it. I mean, you just got to replenish it. That's the thing. You got to keep putting this fertilizer on it. Got to do something, because the plants are taking it up. And he's grew over there many years. So this is the first time we had a garden here. Well, not this year. Last year was the first time. And so it's fresh ground. These plants done, we made a lot of tomatoes last year, even though we planted way too close together. Everything was too close together. It's a tight squeeze kind of, but it's enough to get a good many plants in. I mean, you can see what we got, what area. And all I planted this year was the stuff that done good last year. Tomatoes, peppers, squash, pickles. We planted some zucchini. We didn't try that last year. They down there on the end. Some eggplant, I believe, up here is what this is. I believe it was eggplant. They coming up strong. They look like they're gonna do all right. I ain't a big fan of eggplant, but Nikki seems to like it, so we'll see. Yeah, that's eggplant, all right. I see the little tag down there. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what it do, as King Cobra JFS says. We'll see what she do. It's coming along, though. Maybe we'll get that rain. If we don't, I'm gonna water it again. Try not to overwater everything. Make sure the dirt's got some water in it and all that. That's about it on the garden right now. It looks like them eggplants are starting to get their little blooms going. Now I put that Sevendust on this stuff for the insects. That's another thing. Now I'm a little skeptical. I don't want to put too much of it on there. I'm gonna back off on it. I ain't gonna put no more. I don't want to get that stuff all in the soil and be eating it. I'm afraid that might be what's causing all this cancer, all these pesticides. When I was out pruning this morning, I had a cut on my thumb, and that old, I didn't have no gloves on, and that old Sevendust was getting all over my hands, wet, and I could literally feel that stuff going into my system. It felt like my spine was hurting back there around my kidneys and liver. You can tell that poison going into your body. So I went there and washed my hands. I'll put some rubber gloves on. And I was thinking to myself, man, that Sevendust is bad news. I'm gonna try to use it as sparingly as possible. I've only put it on it twice this year. I'm trying not to put no more on there if I don't have to. I put it on the tomatoes and the peppers only. That's what the bugs was eating. I know the hornworms is gonna hit at some point, and maybe they won't, but I'm sure they will, and I'll have to attack them. I had some kind of spray last year I used. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to go back and look at the bottle, but that spray worked pretty good too. I think it was kind of a natural thing, but Sevendust works good, but man, it's toxic. I know it is. I don't want to consume that shit too much. Pardon my French. Every time I was trying to speak French right then, and it come out sounding like a curse word. I've been trying to learn that language on that app they put on your phone where you learn how to speak different languages and you listen to it over and over. That's what that sh sound word I was saying was a French word I was trying to pronounce. But anyhow, so kids, don't start cussing because you heard me say a French word that sounded like a cuss word. It's a bad idea to cuss because you'll say it in front of somebody that'll embarrass you because you ain't supposed to be saying it because it offends people, see? And then when you get around somebody that it offends, you'll blurt it out, and then next thing you know, they'll hurt their feelings for some reason. It hurts certain people's feelings to hear certain words, so you just have to not get in the habit of doing it because you want to be conscientious of other people, you know. You want to have friends and all that, so you got to be nice, get along with everybody. So kids, remember, don't get in the habit of saying cuss words or rude words. It's a bad idea. That's what happened. Well, I was really lying a while ago, kids, when I said that I was trying to speak French. I really wasn't. It was a cuss word. I was just joking around. But yeah, it's not a good idea. It's a bad idea to cuss. Enough about that. I didn't ever think that particular word was real bad because it's something everybody does. You know, it's like means taking a crap, basically. So, you know, whatever. I got in the habit of saying it, and it does offend people, so I try not to say it. I'm trying to not say so many cuss words, and it still winds up popping out of my mouth when I least expect it. It's because it's a habit. But you can see some bugs was eating here. That's why I put the Sevendust on there. This is okra over here. So that Sevendust ought to keep them off. It's some potent stuff. They've been eating on this one, see? All them holes. I don't know. I don't know what's eating them. I know Sevendust kills a lot of stuff, so maybe it'll kill us, sorry jokers. See, I almost said a cuss word then, just thinking about it. It's when things aggravate me is when it pops out. See this leaf curling? I don't know if the heat caused that or what, or the low calcium. Somewhere said low calcium. That's why I started doing the Tums thing. So I don't know. But at first I got the kind of Tums that got a sweet taste, and then I thought about, well, that's got sugar in it. That might attract ants and stuff. So then when I went back and got some more Tums, because I only had a few of them in the house, so I went back and got some more. And the ones I got the second time was just the plain ones that don't have that sweet candy-like taste to it.
They're peppermint.
Well, Nikki said it had peppermint in it, so it may have. I didn't taste of it. Well, I did, because I must confess, because I had heartburn. I had it already crushed up in the jug, and I took a big swallow. It didn't taste sweet. It did have a peppermint type taste.
Peppermint's good for bugs.
So peppermint should be all right, because peppermint oil, I don't think bugs like that no way. So that should be the way to go. Get the one that's got the peppermint. Or that's my theory anyhow. And it was by accident, really. I mean, I wasn't even looking at the peppermint part. I was just trying not to get the sweet kind. See, this one's got a lot of leaf curling too. This is one of them little tomatoes. I don't know what they call, but it's some little old bitty ones.
They're grapes.
Yeah, grape tomato, and they curling like that. I don't know. The heat's getting to them. I don't really know what to do about that. I'm trying not to overwater them. I'm trying not to underwater them. I put the calcium down. I don't think I've over-fertilized them. I've done everything like everybody's told me. I don't know. Maybe I have went a little heavy on the fertilize. Nitrogen. I got a lot of nitrogen in here, you know. But I'm talking about broadcasting this whole garden has one bag of triple 13. But then when I amended it with the nitrogen 3300, I just put like a tablespoon, like these two tomato plants. You see how far apart they are? They're pretty far apart. You know, I mean, that's it's like 4 feet apart. And I just put like a tablespoon between them, each plant of 3300. I don't think that would be too much nitrogen. Didn't nobody else think it would be either. And all that leaf curling started before I even put the 002020 down, which is phosphorus and potassium. I don't think it burns leaves, no way. I ain't no expert, but I think that comes in your fruiting cycles when you want that. If I remember correctly. Like I said, I ain't no expert. Anyway, this video is already 15 minutes. Get off here.